Hello, Dazzling Mind. It's Nurse Dazzling, your mental health nurse. There is an important question I always get asked, which I want to talk briefly about today. What causes mental health conditions? Mental health conditions have real causes just like physical illnesses. Let's talk about them in a way we can all understand. Because too often, people think mental health illnesses are weakness, laziness, or even spiritual punishment. But the truth is deeper and more human. In many of our communities, we hear things like depression is just being ungrateful, or anxiety is because you do not pray enough. Let me be clear, mental health conditions are not moral failure. They are real medical conditions and influenced by multiple factors, just like physical illnesses like diabetes, hypertension, or malaria are. The causes of mental illnesses are multifaceted, meaning there is no just one cause. However, they can be classified into three factors or causes. One, biological causes. Let's talk about biology, the body and mind. Sometimes mental health challenges are linked to how the brain works. Imbalances in brain chemicals like serotonin and dopamine can affect mood, sleep, and energy. Just as someone may inherit diabetes from family history, some mental health conditions can run in families too, so genetics matter. For example, a young man once shared how depression seemed to run in his family. His father struggled with it, and he can now see that he's also struggling. This does not mean his destiny is sealed, but it means awareness and support are crucial. Also, the brain is full of chemicals that regulate how we think, feel, and act. If there's an imbalance in those chemicals, it can affect our mood, energy, and even our sleep. And let's not forget that chronic illnesses, brain injuries, or even substance abuse can increase the risk. Number two, psychological causes. This second cause has to do with the mind and experiences. Traumatic childhood events, bullying, or growing up in a violent home can shape how the brain and emotions develop. If a child grows up in an environment of abuse, neglect, or constant criticism, it can leave scars that show up later as depression, anxiety, or trauma. Personality also play a role. People who are often perfectionists or self-critical often struggle more when challenges come in the form of stressful life events, like losing a job, failing an exam, or the breakdown of a marriage. These can trigger conditions like depression or anxiety. In African families, we often hear, just be strong, don't cry, keep it moving. But bottling up pain can only worsen mental health instead of healing it. This brings us to number three, social and environmental causes. This third one has to do with our society and environment. Poverty, unemployment, conflict, and displacement are major stressors. Think about a farmer who loses his crops to drought, or a young graduate who has searched for job for years with no luck. Chronic stress from these struggles wears down on mental health. Then if you add stigma to the equation, where someone who opens up is called crazy or possessed, the situation only gets worse. Social isolation, discrimination, and even fast pace of city life can all be a trigger to mental health conditions. Now in Africa, because of our uniqueness as a continent and a people, we have peculiar factors that contribute to mental health conditions, like our cultural beliefs and stigma. In many of our African cultures, people may explain illness through spiritual causes, like curses, witchcraft, or evil spirits. While spirituality is important and often gives comfort, it is also important to know that medical and psychological help is available and very effective. Combining cultural support, prayer, community with professional care can make healing stronger. It doesn't have to be one or the other. In Africa, we also face healthcare gaps where you have only one psychiatrist for hundreds of thousands of people. So here is the truth. Mental health conditions are not just one thing, they are shaped by biology, mind, environment, and culture. Just like malaria needs treatment, so does depression. Just like high blood pressure needs monitoring, so does anxiety. So, to my African brothers and sisters, let's break the silence. Let's support one another because mental health is health and we all deserve it. If you or someone you love is struggling, remember seeking help is strength, not weakness, and a little compassion and kindness is the best support you can give. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and join me next time here on Dazzling Mind Africa. Together, we can break the silence and make Africa a mentally healthier place. See you soon. Until then, keep your mind dazzling.